Okay, let's watch the crazy story of the Opium Wars now. Fuck it, dude. I mean, we might as well. We're staying on the Chinese era of our lives. Give me a second, though. I'll order something to eat. Do I order it now, actually? I don't know if I'm giga hungry yet. Maybe I'll order it later. Actually, I'll order it later.
A sigh escapes you as you open the doors, and a smell like honey and flowers creeps up your nostril.
Wait, Ciel, you never saw this? Are you talking about the video that I'm about to watch? Because no, I have not. It literally just came out yesterday. So no. What you getting? I don't know. Oh, you're talking about the YouTube video Road to Empress Lunar New Year Special MV. I'll copy the link. I'll watch it after this.
On low beds, men sprawl amidst cushions, smiling serenely through the haze. A young
Get
woman
more
hands you a
nudes?
tray with dim
I
sum,
could.
tea and a pipe, your usual. With the first hit of opium, the edges of your world soften and your guilt evaporates.
Thank you again
in
so
a
much
warm,
for
weightless cloud.
buying me food.
Just today,
I appreciate
foreign
it a lot.
merchants bribed you, smuggling in the very stuff now curling through your lungs. We're in China around 1839, and this year, 40,000 chests of opium will flow through the port of Guangzhou,
Holy shit.
making the dealers fabulously rich. And you are a willing accomplice to the world's biggest narco kingpin, the British Empire. But how did
Yeah, does that make them the biggest, like, drug dealers in history?
Cartel?
Mariano, thank you for the raid. I've got a good stream. Welcome, welcome.
All the tea in
How
China.
you doing?
It started innocently. By the late 18th century, the British got hopelessly hooked on tea. Within a century, demand for energizing leaf water exploded by 10,000%, with tea taxes funding 10% of the entire treasury.
Holy shit.
The problem is, the world's only tea dealer at the time is China, which sees itself as the center of civilization and doesn't care for equal partnerships. Their negotiation partner couldn't be more irritated. It's the British East India Company, a huge joint stock company with a state-backed monopoly on trade in the Indian Ocean and a private army twice as big as the British Empire's. For now, they are the ones being squeezed. The Chinese demand silver for tea and don't buy anything themselves, a losing deal that drains the crown's silver reserves. So, in 1793, London sends ambassadors, hoping fancy words and gifts can nudge Beijing into buying British goods. But the Qianlong Emperor tells them to get lost. Our celestial empire possesses all things in prolific abundance. There is no need to import the manufactures of outside barbarians.
Did he actually say barbarians at the
British
time? That's
officials
crazy.
look for something, anything they can sell to China.
Bro said
And
nah.
they identify opium, poppy economics. If you slice a poppy seed pod, it bleeds a milky goop packed with morphine and codeine, raw opium. For millennia, it's widespread in Europe, the Middle East, and Asia as a painkiller. But in the 17th century in southern Chinese ports, people find that it hits different when smoked. It becomes a social event for wealthy merchants
It's different.
and a pricey trading good.
They getting high on them poppy seeds. Hell
India
yeah.
Company, when they seize control of Bengal and India, they stumble upon a local opium business just waiting to be scaled. In the late 1700s, they start forcing farmers to swap food crops for poppy, fueling famines that kill millions.
Jesus Christ.
Like any good cartel, they then launder the business and sell the opium to private merchants in Calcutta who smuggle it into China.
Jesus
Trade
Christ,
runs like
man.
butter, and Chinese silver starts running into British money chests so fast that it becomes the empire's financial backbone within a few decades. And in 1833, the floodgates open. The British government ends the East India Company's China monopoly. Ambitious British merchants turn into reckless narco lords with armed smuggling boats who push the drug into a mass market habit. More and more people get high, and many get addicted, although Chinese officials might have overstated numbers to throw shade on this.
Do you know people
drug.
still have diabetes predisposition today
Contrary to
because the
later
British induced
myths,
7
most
famines in
users
Bengal?
may have
My mom used to
used
tell me
it
this.
like
That's
many
insane.
Europeans use wine
mean,
or beer, socially.
I guess
and
it's
in
kind of not
moderation.
surprising
To the
because
Chinese government,
obviously that would
it's less a public
have an
health
impact on the people
than
that
an
are
economic crisis.
alive.
They're bleeding
Not
more
just the
silver
people that
out
die.
through opium and other imports than tea and the like bring in.
When it still has like very
As
real
recession
consequences
grips
now.
the empire,
It's
officials
fucked up,
use
man.
opium as a scapegoat for fading morals and
fucked up.
fortitude and decide to crush the trade. And the stage for this showdown is Guangzhou, the heart of the drug hustle, known to Europeans as Canton. The untouchable. It's spring 1839 in the buzzing port city, and you're on your way to get high with your merchant pals again. You're sweating as you stroll through the narrow streets that smell of incense, tea, and frying food. But as you reach the den, the doors have been smashed to splinters.
Oh, no.
Soldiers are dragging the owner away, while others haul out armfuls of confiscated pipes.
Oh.
As a middleman who's been pocketing mountains of British silver, you feel the noose tightening around your neck. The man responsible rolled into town only a week ago, Lin Zexu, the emperor's hand-picked fixer for the opium crisis, an elite scholar known as clear as the heavens for being incorruptible in a system drowning in bribes.
Damn.
From the outside,
Bro was locked
China's
in.
huge army, population, and century-old dynasty look like a massive porcelain vase.
I don't think I played the one that was based in China.
But
V.
it's just as delicate if hit hard. A population boom has outpaced food supply and bureaucracy. The economy is in free fall.
They're
and
crushing your
rebellion is
sources.
simmering.
I think you're a couple hundred
But to
years
Lin,
late, buddy.
China remains civilization's eternal center, self-sufficient and morally superior.
Hello,
And in
Terrell
that
Vor.
view,
Hope
a
you're doing
merchant
well.
like you getting rich off bribes from barbarians is the absolute worst. You
What'd
see
you get up to
Lin's
today?
decree pinned to every wall. Ditch the habit in about a year, or prepare for the executioner. And you hear whispers of what Lin said when the biggest Chinese opium trader, one of the richest men in the world, tried to bribe him with a fortune. The great minister does not want your money. I want your head. And Lin
Damn.
isn't stopping here. He turns to the source
He is
of
not
the opium
fucking
flood,
around.
the foreign traders. They live on a narrow strip outside Guangzhou's walls known as the factories, a mix of offices, warehouses, and living
factories.
quarters they leased from China, and the only place in the empire where foreigners can legally live and trade, designed to keep them under control.
He just wants
The
head.
British operation is overseen
Respectable.
by Superintendent Charles Elliot, a dutiful servant to the crown. He personally
Valid.
finds
Understandable.
the opium smuggling a bit distasteful, but gets its
I'm gonna
economic
clean my
necessity
glasses.
and lacks the legal authority to stop it anyway. Lin sends them an ultimatum: surrender all your opium and pledge never to trade it again, or else. His soldiers brick up the doors, march through the streets, and cut off food supplies. This escalated quickly, and with messages between China and London taking months, Elliot
It wasn't
panics
simply getting
and
rich, it
makes
was
a
creating,
fateful
like,
decision. He
it was
orders the
including-
traders
it
to
was
hand
inducing
over
revolts,
all
yeah.
20,283 opium chests, promising that the crown will pay them back. They can hardly believe their luck. In one stroke, their entire stock is sold. She might not know it yet, but this makes Queen Victoria the biggest drug lord on the
Oh,
planet.
it does. Okay.
Elliot doesn't realize the world-altering debt he just created for her. The opium is worth 4% of the entire British state budget.
Jesus Christ.
Today, that share would
Hello,
be
cheese.
about 55
Welcome,
billion
welcome.
pounds, close to the UK's defence budget.
What's your favorite cheese?
Lin, meanwhile, is riding high. He alone stopped the crisis and seized the opium. Chest after chest is hauled to huge trenches by the river, dumped into brine, mixed with lime, and flushed out to the sea.
They made the fishes high. That's crazy.
The bill, please.
I imagine that probably actually
By
killed a
August
bunch of them.
1839, the news reaches London and buries the foreign minister's desk under a mountain of letters from merchants, all asking for the Queen to pay their IOUs.
The fucking opium fish,
The
bro.
most powerful merchants launch a lobbying campaign, arguing that China's market is a gold mine locked behind an annoying bureaucracy just waiting for liberation. In October, the cabinet decides to send warships to force the Chinese to pay, seize ports, and crack the country open like an oyster for British commerce. This causes a moral backlash across Britain, but the fleet is already off to declare war on 1/3 of the
Does
world's
it though?
population.
Like, did it? Was there actual like? Was there like actual dissent in the UK against doing that to China? Like, were the people of the the United Kingdom actually against it? There's always dissent against the crown. Okay, yes, but was it specifically targeted at their acts of trying to force commerce with China? Against indigo, silk, and opium. Oh, interesting. I didn't know that there were actually people that were against it. That's good. Steel ships meet sabers. I imagined that did not go great.
1840, fishing boats off Hong Kong start spotting strange
Thanks for paying your daily taxes.
that slowly grow
Appreciate
into
it.
22 warships and dozens of transports carrying about 4,000 British and Indian troops. Lin Zexu isn't impressed. He's dismissed reports of an incoming fleet and tells...
Okay, just give me a second, chat. I need to go to the bathroom real quick. I will be right back. I'll play some musica and some ads. BRB. I'm back. Time to continue watching. Hello. The emote is cute. Oh, that is cute. Wait, how do you get that? How do you get the NASA badge thing? Can I, like, open it? And do I just get it from that? Or do you have to do something? Watch for 1 hour. Oh, I'll open it in the background. Just so I get it too. Because I was going to just watch the launch.
How they sleep, how they fly the vehicle, and how free time is.
But I'll keep it running in the back. Actually, I'll put it on my second PC. So I can make sure that it keeps playing. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. There we go. Or just type NASA. Wait, if you just type NASA, it works? Oh, you mean the link? Yeah. Yeah, I'm watching that shit in 4K right now, Pog. Even though the footage is in like crusty ass 260p, bro. They're in the cockpit already? Yeah, but the launch is in 3.5 hours. Holy shit.
The Emperor, it's just a bunch of smugglers. Charles Elliot knows better. Forced out of Guangzhou months ago, he's been fighting desperate naval skirmishes for food and water.
Hey, Guangzhou, that's where
hoping
Tip to Tip
for
started.
reinforcement.
Crazy.
He teams up with the Admiral, leaves a detachment to
Oh yeah, because the
blockade
launch isn't
Guangzhou,
even guaranteed,
and
right?
sails the main
It's a
force
window.
north.
They hope they can hit it, but
In
if they
July,
can't, they
reach
can't,
the
right?
archipelago of Jushan
But
and
yeah,
start
I'll be
bombarding
watching.
the main island. Its army falls in just 9 minutes, and nearly 1 million people flee in a panic, while the disgraced local governor drowns himself in a small pool. While China has an army of 800,000, it's scattered across an empire larger than Europe, and the technology gap is huge. For centuries, the Qing had prioritized internal
Is it lots of
stability, while the world
waiting? I think it's
outside
been lots of
raced for
waiting and the prep
industrial
work, right?
revolution.
That's my
So
guess.
now they're still fighting with their great-great-grandfather's weapons. Cannons from the 1500s, rusty old flintlocks, and literally bows and spears. Still, the
crazy.
real mismatch is at sea. Britain is a global naval superpower, while the weak Qing Navy has been neglected and years earlier had even struggled to crush local pirates like the armada of pirate queen Zheng Yi Sao. By August,
Yeah, we know about
the
that one.
British fleet is dangerously close to Beijing. Terrified, the Daguang Emperor fires Lin Zexu, blaming him for the
Yeah, we'll
crisis
start watching it
and
more
opens
actively at like
negotiations with
12:15 when it's 10
But
minutes
after
from launch or
months of
something.
Back and forth, Elliot's patience snaps. The
Pirate
deployed
Queen.
the world's
The
first
Pirate
steam-powered
Queer.
iron warship,
I mean,
the Nemesis.
Might have been.
Like a tank at a cavalry battle, it vaporizes 11 war junks in 90 minutes.
Oh.
The horrified Chinese diplomat agrees to hand over Hong Kong and a lot of money on top to make it stop. But neither side is happy with this result. The Chinese negotiator is sentenced to death and Elliot fired for not demanding more. In August 1841, a new commander arrives with reinforcements. They go north again, dismantling the coastal defenses. On July the 21st, 1842, in brutal heat, thousands of British troops step off their ships and, after a short, vicious fight, they break in and enter the city of Zhenjiang and walk into a nightmare. People are cutting each other's throats or drowning themselves in garden pools to escape the barbarians. The war machine pushes on for Nanjing and aims their cannons at the heart of the ancient capital.
Jesus.
On August the 29th, 1842, Chinese officials board a
Is
British
this the
warship
One
to
Piece
sign the
lore?
Treaty of Nanjing. China is forced to pay $6
The
million
hidden
silver
fucking
dollars for the
century
destroyed opium
of One Piece.
and
Yeah, the
another
fucked up
$15
shit they don't
million
talk about.
for ransoms, debts, and to repair and refuel the very ships that just slaughtered
Good
their
night,
people.
Genji. Get some
In
rest.
total, it's a fiscal shock worth about half of China's annual income. Hong Kong is made a
I'm
permanent
scratching
colony,
my eyes.
and 5 ports are forced open,
That's why my
dismantling
model is
China's
tweaking.
control of foreign trade. Absurdly, opium is not discussed at all and stays technically illegal because the British Crown wants to avoid looking like a Victorian Pablo
Not the
Escobar.
fucking Pablo
But actions
Escobar
speak
meme,
louder
bro.
than words. The Century of Humiliation. After Nanjing, opium flooded China like a tsunami, while Western merchants got their tea and profits. In 1856, tensions boiled over into the Second Opium War, ending with more unequal treaties that stripped China's control over trade, law, and land even further. Opium
Really
was
fucked up.
legalized and smoking spread more than ever. But this is not the story of a bully and a helpless victim. The Qing were rulers of a massive, expansionist empire themselves that took much of Asia by force, including
Yeah.
Tibet, Xinjiang, and Taiwan.
A lot of fucked
The
up
Opium
history.
Wars were more like two of the most powerful empires on Earth facing off, for which ordinary people paid the price.
Yeah.
In 1912, the Qing Empire shattered, ending 2,000 years of dynastic rule and sparking decades of civil war that only concluded with Mao taking power in 1949.
Kind of
By
crazy
then,
when you think
both
about it.
China and the West
2,000
had their
years of
own
a
versions
dynasty.
of the story. In the West, opium was recast as an oriental drug that was consumed in seedy places by dangerous criminals. In China, opium became the foreign poison destroying the nation. The Communist Party turned this memory into the opening chapter of the Century of Humiliation, fueling nationalism and presenting its own rise as the answer to that suffering. Stories that still impact global politics today.
Yeah. What a crazy story, man. It's kind of like, or not story, history. What a crazy history. I guess it is the crazy story of the Opium Wars. That was fucked up. There's a lot of like parts of this that feel like it's not, it doesn't feel like countries interacting, you know what I mean? It feels like fucked up corporations and stuff. Oh, I'm stupid.